Good morning, my name is Milena Rajić and I'm coming from University of Niš, and I will present the results of the virtual mobility grant that I received in this year. The name was Systematic Transdisciplinary Review of Collaboratively Evaluating Different Approaches and Lessons Learned from the Other Projects. And now I will present the activities or defined activities within this virtual mobility grant. The main focus was to conduct a review of the transdisciplinary research project that was finished by this year. And the main focus of this project should be on the climate adaptation and sustainability. And the aim was to evaluate different approaches and to identify best practices as well, and to have the lesson learned in the end to improve the efficacy of transdisciplinary efforts in achieving some social transformation and resilience. And this report aimed to establish a transdisciplinary also learning spaces and to develop some creative skills and tools and offer opportunities for the triangling concept and models. And it also aimed to develop a systematic baseline evaluation of various approaches to transdisciplinary action-oriented research. And here we can see the importance of the transdisciplinary this research as the main focus, because they are becoming more and more important, especially in several and linked problems that are presented by climate change. And they often working inside the silos, and this is some traditional way that also research is concentrated or in focus in particular aspect of an issue. So we need this transdisciplinary approach to some complex problem. But this complicated character of climate change calls for combining knowledge from many disciplines to create some workable answers. And this also transdisciplinary research represents the cooperation of several disciplines, and each offers special viewpoints and also approaches and knowledge to solve the same concern. And this method not only closes the gap between the social and natural sciences, but also include broad public participation, some corporate executives as well, and community engagement. And it will be really important to have the policymakers include as well, among any other stakeholders from many fields. And here I will present the research design and also the approach in this analysis. And we can see that the main objective is to get an in-depth understanding of the success of several approaches that are used in other projects. They're to enable the identification of areas for development and also best practices. And this strategy starts with some literature analysis to find the multidisciplinary projects that always align with the aim of the shift cost action. And to ensure the wide and inclusive range of the projects, this report includes also papers published in the journals and in conference proceedings, some project reports, and especially these final reports, also the some issues or reports also during the project realization, and any other relevant also documents was included. And the selection criteria for projects to be included in this study are aimed to also ensure some full and fair and also observant evaluation of this transdisciplinary research, and to target on the also on climate adaptation and sustainability as the main focus. And every criteria that address the specific aspect of the relevance, methodological also rigor, stakeholder involvement, and also availability of the comprehensive documentation of the project was also included. And using these criteria helps the research to highlight some outstanding practices and to identify common challenges and to provide some perspective analysis. And the direct relevance of the project for also sustainability and climate adaptation is determined mostly the direction of the decision which project should be included or not to be included in this analysis. And projects have to emphasize on promoting environmentally friendly behavior and also to address some numerous climate issues and to change the present. And this initiatives was designed in order to maybe in the focus to reduce the greenhouse gas emission or to boost resilience to climate effects or to promote renewable energy or better sustainable land and water management. And here we can see the overview of the 30 project that was included in the beginning of the analysis. And in the second phase of the analysis, 20 projects was included. And the online search has the aim to collect the following kind of materials. Some project also descriptions of through the main explanation of the main activities, goals and approaches of the project. Then some also project outcomes such as case studies and success or success stories, tools or developed platforms, access to final reports, and the other relevant also documents offering analysis of the state of the project and results, and some evidence of the stakeholder involvement and engagement all through this project life, and the details of the funding sources and calls supporting the projects, if there are any. So the development of the evaluation framework represents the central component of this virtual mobility that I conducted, and also of this report as the main contribution. This evaluation framework should allow us to evaluate the proposed project that I previously selected and presented, and it provides the structured approach that are necessary to systematically assess and to compare the selected projects that was included. And the initial step involved a review of existing evaluation framework, also methods that are used in similar contexts. I put some research of that part in the introduction section of my report. And then the evaluation framework consists of several core components, and I propose these 5 components that should be evaluated with this study. And each of these components propose to identify a specific dimension of the transdisciplinary projects. And these components are given as we can see here on the picture. We have the first one, it is the project also strategies. This component should evaluate the approaches and methods that are used by the project, and it should also include the criteria that is given here. It is also innovation. To assess the extent of which the project introduced the novel ideas, methods, or techniques. Then to have interdisciplinary integration in order to evaluate the degree of collaboration and integrated integration in the other also disciplines, if it is novel in maybe on the other way presented. Then we have a scalability, also replicability can be also this include. It is really important for the project strategies. And to see if they have potential for the project to be maybe scaled up or to be also replicated in the other context. Then the other a core component is the outcomes and impacts. This component measure the concrete as well the abstract outcomes achieved by the project. It should includes criteria that are given here. It is environmental impact. Assessing the project also contribution to the also reducing, for example, greenhouse gas emission, to have or maybe to improve biodiversity or ecosystem or anything similar. Then we should have also component that is connected with social and economic benefits to evaluate the project impact on local communities, including also improvements in quality of life, for example, economic opportunities or maybe similar. And the third component should be maybe policy influence or impact, for example, to see in which extent of this project have influenced or informed policy decisions at local, maybe also regional or national levels. The third core component is the stakeholder engagement. This part should examine the involvement or the engagement of the various stakeholders in the project life cycle. It includes also criteria that are given here. I include inclusivity and participation in order to evaluate the depth of the stakeholder involvement, including also marginalized or maybe vulnerable also groups as well. Then maybe some extended collaboration in order to see is there any actions or maybe define future like actions in order to strengthen the partnership maybe between different stakeholders, for example, including also community organization or maybe governmental bodies or some private sectors entities to be included as well. And we have the fourth core component, it is the challenges and barriers. This component identifies the challenges and barriers that are faced in the project as well. And it includes criteria such as also technical challenges, assessing the technical difficulties and logistical issues that are happened also during the project implementation, or some social political maybe barriers. There we should also evaluate the social or political obstacles that affected maybe projects progress, including maybe some regulatory constraints and stakeholder maybe also resistance, and resource constraints, maybe to see there may be some also limitation that are connected to funding human resources or any other essential inputs. And we have sustainability. This part measures the long-term sustainability of the project, and it should include the sustainability of outcomes, capacity building, and knowledge transfer. And the main results were presented in the report, but here I presented the application of the framework for the first two components, but in order to see the cross-project comparison. And the first table examines I can see here 7 projects. For the first component, it was the project strategies that include innovation, interdisciplinary integration, scalability, and replicability. And the second core component that involved environmental impact, social and economic benefits, and policy influence. And the main results are presented in the report as well. And here we can see the identification of the best practices of some of the projects that I identified that should be included in this presentation. And we can say that one of the main themes across NLS project is the importance of integrating some interdisciplinary approach, and each project includes some expertise from diverse fields, such as, for example, environmental science, economics, policy, sociology, and community development, to create some applicable solution. For instance, the Clean Safe project that we can have here on the slide successfully integrated some sectoral models to provide a holistic view of climate change impact across various sectors, also to include stakeholders to explore some synergies and conflicts between adaptation and mitigation measures. And also we can similarly approach SIM4 Nexus that employed some models for multiple disciplines to address the interconnected challenges of the water, land, food, energy, climate nexus. And also stakeholder engagement emerged as an important component also of this successful project realization. And to include the stakeholder early in the project realization ensure that these solutions are relevant, practical, and also can be widely accepted. The third example is the Life Agri Adapt project that demonstrated the effectiveness on involving farmers and also agrarian organizations in developing and testing sustainable adaptation measures, which increase the likelihood of adaptation and scalability. And we can see also the challenges and barriers that were encountered as the some that should be also emphasized in this report. For example, Brigade projects have some technical challenges that are related to testing and implementing innovations, and also the complexity of evaluating technical effectiveness and feasibility required some structural approach and substantial technical expertise. Then also some social political barriers was also included in regulatory constraints and stakeholder resistance that was also necessary in early engagement with the policymakers and stakeholders in order to align the innovations, for example, with local needs. And there was also some resource constraints, particularly funding and human resources were also a significant challenge for this project. It also requires some strategic prioritization and also to maybe adapt the existing network in order to maximize the project impact. And we have the other examples of the project that was also presented in the report in more detailed way. Also, focus was to identify the innovations and impact on resilience of the analyzed project. So we can see now some significant impact that they have in some of the other areas that was also included in this analysis. And each project introduced some new ideas or some novel approach or method. It was really interesting to read and to learn about it, or technologies that was improved in such a way the also resilience to environmental and social challenges. And I didn't mention, I wanted to include as much as I can the also different projects, and the project from the Horizon 2020 was included, also the cost action that was connected in this subject. Also I included the project in the former European also grant FP7 was also included in this analysis, or some other grants were also included in this analysis in order to see how it was developed in the previous 10 years, or maybe in the last 10 years, how it was developed, these approaches or the methods in connection to the resilience. And for example, we have here the three projects that are mentioned only in this slide, but more detailed presentation is in the report. For example, the CleanSafe project developed some integrated assessment platform to understand cross-sectional climate change impacts, also adaptation and vulnerability in Europe. The focus was in Europe, but one of the primary innovation of the CleanSafe project was the web-based tool. And this web-based tool allows stakeholders to simulate some scenarios impact across different sectors. And it can be also some urban agriculture, or some forest, or maybe some biodiversity also sector, or maybe water or coast. And this tool enables stakeholders to identify some vulnerable hotspot and to give them some evaluation to cost effectiveness of maybe to adaptation options in order to see which scenario is better for them. And by integrating these social economic scenarios with climate scenarios, this project provided insight into synergies also and also conflicts that was identified between adaptation and mitigation also measures. And for example, this conservation agriculture was shown to improve the crop resilience, but had mixed effects on water resources. So there was also participatory approach that was conducted within this project that involved stakeholders and in scenario development and also testing, and to ensure that the also platform was relevant and that can be practically used. And this innovation also helped the communities to maybe have some forecast about future climate impact, or maybe to adapt also the future approaches and to improve their resilience and also these climate adaptation options for their region. And this integration of these multiple sectoral models provides some holistic view of the climate impact, but also contributing in some significant way to sustainability and to inform the also some decision-making process. And the second project that I want to mention is the Life Agri Adapt project. That is a really interesting one, and that it has the aim to demonstrate climate resilience in the main farming system through the sustainable uh, adaptation measures. And it was conducted in 2015-16 up to 2019, and it also tested some different adaptation measures in the 120 pilot farms. And it was conducted in Europe, and it also covered the livestock, also arable and also permanent crops. And the key innovation included the comprehensive also assessment framework that was customized for these farming systems. And the framework integrated some climate models and scenario planning tools in order to enable precise assessment of climate risk and also effective planning of these adaptation measures. And here I want to mention the next steps. And after the realization of this virtual mobility grant, I want to be included in the some further steps. I think that the main focus should be on the further verification of this evaluation framework that was developed here, but also the future work should have some prioritization in order to maybe publicate some papers based on the results and insights that was gathered from this report. And these also papers can be also used for some high impact journals, because I think I include most relevant reports and results that should be used for some also review and for the lesson learned for the next project that should be included in the next calls. And also this publication, I think that should serve in order to disseminate the knowledge that was acquired through this project, and also highlight best practices, challenges and solutions that were also identified in these projects. And in the end, I want to mention that in order to analyze the lesson learned, it should be also emphasized the main focus of the integration of these disciplines. And this transdisciplinary approach, which brings together different fields, such as, for example, environmental science, also sociology, economics, or maybe political science, has proven that we have developed holistic solution for climate change adaptation. And the case studies highlighted the report in this report illustrate also the benefits of breaking down the silos between these disciplines and to foster collaboration and also innovation. And secondly, I think the active involvement of stakeholders, also including some other maybe minority groups as well, is important for the success of the sustainability of the project. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I'm on your disposal. Thank you.